Hey everybody, welcome to the Canada Dota 2 Weekly Cup. We've got Sand Blunt going up against Together We Did It. This is the grand final, best of one. Both these teams have gone through quite a few games in order to get here, so congratulations to both of them. And also one more shout out to Xfire, the tournament hosting site making all this possible. Thank you very much. And now into the draft. We've got Tidehunter and Jakiro banned out for Sandblunt, as well as Lycanthrope and Omniknight for Together We Did It. First pick overall was a Venge, followed up by the Ogre Magi and a Skywrath Mage. Sandblunt here looking for picking up their second one of this first picking phase. I wouldn't be too surprised to see something like an Elder Titan coming out of them. Stacking up the minus armor is something I've seen a lot of lately, and in this tournament. Stacking the magic damage as Together We Did It has they've with their picks is something that they've also done. Ancient Seal going together with the Ogre Magi quite nicely, as well as Razor's Eye of the Storm stacking up with Wave of Terror from Venge. Both physical damage, I wouldn't say based, but definitely tilted in that direction towards the physical damage heroes. Venge overall just very good support. Razor still strong in the mid lane, although he has dropped off a fair bit as of late. Not too sure why or what changed, or if maybe it was just the play styles are changed. People aren't going the super death ball push as much anymore, so going Eye of the Storm with a refresher Ags isn't as strong. But speaking of death ball push, Death Prophet banned out, and speaking of I guess balls, Faceless Void has been banned out. So Sandwell looking for the second ban, but so far I still wouldn't mind seeing an Elder Titan for actually either of these teams. He would stack up very well with both of them. Provides a lot of setup as well as damage with the Earth Splitter, and maybe not damage per se, but indirect damage with his natural order buff. Slark and Storm Spirit, the bans in this final bans of the second phase for the respective teams, and then Viper, first pick of the second phase coming out for Together We Did It. So they pick up a classic mid lane matchup between Razor and Viper, and I think that's a fairly middle of the road mid lane. Neither hero having too much of an advantage, but it comes down to who's playing what better. Starting to burn through the bit of the clock is Sandblunt, but in the end they need another core, or two more cores and a support more than likely, specifically a safe laner and an off laner. As far as off laners left, Space Cow has been getting some recognition lately. Centaur Warner is in the area. Bristleback as well. He's not terrible against Skywrath, Ogre, and Viper. Skywrath is very squishy, so he falls to Bristleback quickly. And even though Ogre is tanky, Bristleback does have some nice minus armor. So it would stack up well. And if the Sandblunt is on the Dire, so they have that option of doing Roshan. And speaking of doing Roshan, there's a hero that makes that very easy. With his lifesteal R going to everybody on his team, be able to punish that if they want or given the opportunity. The reason why I was mentioning Bristleback is simply due to his nasal goo and the physical damage coming out from Warpath. Final pick of the second phase coming out for Together We Did It. They have, I assume, their two supports and the mid laner. They need their core and their off laner. They're going to be looking to pick up somebody that'll burn some magic, as I assume this is going to be a core Wraith King, but I could be wrong. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be too surprised, but it kind of depends what Together We Did It here ran, and I assume that's what Sandblunt are hoping, that maybe Together will go along the ways of picking up like a Nyx Assassin or, you know, a Diffusal Blade Carrier or something like that, maybe Anti-Mage, all in order to counter this Wraith King, and then it just turns out to be a support. So we'll have to wait and see. Both of them have projectile stuns, so I think Anti-Mage would actually be a pretty solid pickup here either way, as he can blink dodge the Venge and the the Wraith King. Fire Blast. Not the Wraith. Yeah, it's Wraith King now. Skeleton King. So they're burning through a little bit of the time, but I think that'd be a solid pick. They might want to save it for last pick. But the other thing they have to be careful of is if it's just a support Wraith King and then Sandblunt pick up somebody who is not bothered by mana burn. But we'll have to kind of wait and see here. Together We Did It is eating into a fair bit of their leftover reserve time, and we'll kind of have to wait and see. I imagine I don't know about an Elder Titan, but they certainly need an offlaner. Bristleback wouldn't be terrible for them. Unfortunate thing is, though, he just gets drained by the Razor and kited out. And Wraith King isn't too worried about him because he does have that second life to come back with, as well as he hits very hard even when Bristleback is reducing his damage. And he's not too worried about the cool stacks as if he goes down. Holy crap! That's a hero I haven't seen played in a long time in any sort of competitive match on any sort of a level, whether it's premium, professional, or amateur. But Tinker, the pickup here, and I don't know about that at all. I mean, Tinker's still very strong, like the Dagon E-Blade combo. It's just getting there is so incredibly hard. He can't farm Ancients anymore, as it is now it's magical damage that does not pierce spell immunity. So, fair bit weaker now as he cannot accelerate his farm by taking a big Ancient stack, but he can still clear stacks in the jungle if he needs to. So we'll have to see if Together We Did It can make the space for him, but I think that is a solid pickup to counter him. Clockwork doing very well. Unfortunately, the Skywrath is a little bit risky, but I think Clockwork, and I still think Support Wraith King would be very solid here. Both heroes that can go Blade Mail very easily, and a Blade Mail would do a lot to really hurt this Tinker. Not to mention Ogre, Magi, and Viper, Skywrath. They don't want anything to do with a Blade Mail. That is just not something they want to happen to them. Final bans coming out here, and Together We Did It. They've got... Honestly, I think banning out Medusa might not be a bad idea. They're gonna go with the Disruptor ban though. Not too sure why. It's a lot of pick-off. And see, I think Sandblunt can go for something like a core Wraith King and pick up another support here, or run it as or pick up like a Medusa. They pick up Anti-Mage, or they ban Anti-Mage, sorry, and I really like that ban. So Together We Did It. They're gotta be a little bit worried. I think Medusa might be coming out for Sandblunt, and then Together We Did It. Unless they pick it, I'm not too sure. Who's left that's a decent carry up against all this? Gyrocopter's, I think, a little bit too split damage. Phantom Assassin's still in the pool, and she is okay. Takes a lot of damage from Clockwork, but she likes to build BKBs. Luna's an option. She got buffed recently, so she's a little bit stronger, and she could clear up Ancient stacks, whereas Tinker can't take advantage of those. But they kind of still need an offlaner, I guess. They're going to go with Timber, who's very good against Clockwork. Okay against Wraith King. Wraith King, again, as I've stated, does have that extra life, so he can come back. I think Medusa pickup here is fine. But this is going to be probably, I would say, a safe lane Tinker, mid Viper. Yeah, safe lane Tinker with Ogre Skywrath. Oh my gosh. That's a pick. That's a pick and a half. The Mappo comes out for Sandblunt. So, interested to see where they run Playmate. And Playmate is their captain, so I imagine he'll be running it as a support. But this is the draft of the Dota 2 Canada Weekly Cup Grand Finals. Thank you very much for tuning in. I am, as it says up in the top right there, I am Wolf Dota. And one last shout out to Xfire before we get underway. Thank you very much for sponsoring the event. And just waiting for the final pick of Skywrath, and then we'll be in the game. So as far as lanes go, I'm assuming it's going to be a Timber solo off, and then like a Skywrath Ogre Tinker combination, which I mean isn't terrible. They have a solid stun and lots of nuke damage coming out. I don't think anyone will be able to lane across from it very well. But I'm just not too sure how it's going to work in general. And then for the Dire, they've got Rusi on the bench. 5 on the clock. I'll introduce the teams in a moment. I'm just saying it for myself. But I'm assuming it's going to be a support Wraith King now. Schofield's going to be in the mid lane, and the Clockwork is going to be in that off lane position. He's going to have a very tough time here, and I don't think they can go aggressive. But that said, Meepo, Venge, Wraith King, they can easily get kills with the 3 sets of control, but we'll see what they do. There was a lot of pinging coming out from the bot lane, so I imagine they're going to want to go put wards out in the bottom lane. But we'll kind of have to wait and see here. Where are these guys going? But regardless of that, while the teams are moving out, I'll introduce them. Do you remember our first kiss is playing the Ogre Magi? And then on the Viper, we've got Help, followed up by Snoopy on the Skywrath Mage. Noobs Are Us on the Tinker. And Taku is playing that Timbersaw. Smoked up, and as a 5-stack, we've got the Dire side. What was it? Sand B. J5 is going to be on the Clockwork. Playmate is going to be on the Wraith King. Schofield is handling the Razor. Disband after TI5 is playing the Meepo. And Rusi is on that Vengeful Spirit. Looks like they were looking for a pickoff. They've got 2 Alms wards they can throw out here. Both teams very much prioritizing the enemy jungle. So they're putting out lots of pings. They want to kind of hide here, but there's going to be no one around. And both the bounty runes are going to be uncontested for once, I think. And in a situation like this, I think you leave it for the off lane. Unless... Are they running Clock solo safe? Not too sure where they're going to want to go with all these guys, but we'll know in a moment here. Taku, I believe, spotted out the Venge. Schofield is here. He has a link. There's 2 stuns ready for him. Uh-oh. Taku's got to be careful. He's going to get spotted, linked up. Unfortunately, can't get in range for the Racefire Blast. Blocked up by Rusi, and his... Oh, he's going to get his off. Wraith King's going to be there to follow up as well. He's got a Devil and Timber Chain. Is he going to be able to get away? No, he's not. Playmate with one last right click is able to get the kill. And Schofield, Playmate, and Rusi, I don't think they could have played that any better. Excellent job there. Unfortunate, a little bit of a body block coming out, but they did get it. And their team, I believe, got both bounty runes. No, they were split. Viper did get the top one. So, quickly off the bat. Oh, it's going to be a Meepo up against Tinker. I'm not too sure how that's going to go. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on this lane. But it's going to be a Wraith King and a Razor in the bottom lane up against a Timbersaw. Ogre and Skywrath are kind of just around. Looks like Skywrath's going to be stacking. Oh, you don't want to be stacking the mid lane, buddy. Or that medium camp there. You want to be stacking a strong camp. Tinker can't clear Mud Golems. Clockwork throws out a Cogs, taking some damage from Help, though. He's going to be okay in the end. Do you remember, is there, though. Going to click him down a little bit. J5 pops his battery cell and looks to turn. Remember, just walks away. Noobs Are Us and Meepo. Unsurprisingly, somewhat... Oh, my. Looks like they able to pick him off again. Playmate diving deep into the tower, almost going down. Taku's back though, still level 1 as a safe lane, solo safe Timbersaw. Schofield doing a very good job of zoning him out, as he doesn't have any points in reactive armor, so he's quite squishy early. But unsurprisingly, Meepo struggling in the mid lane up against the Tinker, and once this March comes out, it's going to be tough. That said, Meepo does have the Divided We Stand buff, so he's actually, or not buff per se with Divided We Stand, but the Meepo buff, that he's got 35% magic resistance. Oh, Help is going to look to go in J5, as well as Snoopy rotating in. He throws out a Cogs, eats the tree, and he's going to rotate through. He's not going to be making it out of this one, though. He's going to drop down one more right click, and the kill goes to Skywrath Mage. Snoopy going to be picking up that one on the safe lane Clockwork. Rusi already stacking up this one, I believe. Yeah, has a triple stack here already. Very impressive. So Meepo's going to be able to clean that up very quickly, as well as get a lot of bonus experience and gold from that. It's going to skyrocket his farm. And he's actually passed the Tinker now that he's got his second Meepo up and running. Timbersaw having a very hard time bottom. Going to get spotted up by the Wraith King again. And they're just going to trade blows. Wraith King's going to be more than happy with this, as he is just a support, and Timbersaw is wasting his time, not getting any sort of experience. Playmate could have thrown out the stun if he'd wanted to, decides not to. Reactive armor is up now, so it's going to be a little harder to go on him. Up in the top lane, Clock getting harassed down, and he's going to struggle up against this Viper, who I believe, probably went 1-1-1 and extra points in the poison. That said, Meepo in a lot of trouble in the mid lane, throws out a very nice net, catches the Skywrath. Disband after TI5. That Meepo there is dropping very low. It is not Meepo Prime, so it's not quite as tanky, and it is going to go down. He's going to drop, but he's going to be up very quickly, so he's having a bit of a hard time. He does have a triple stack in the jungle to catch up. Oh, Timbersaw in the bottom lane goes down again. Razor getting a solo kill this time on the Timbersaw. So he's having a very hard time here. And Playmate rotating through. Looks like they're going to miss each other. Sentry goes out to block the camp. They're going to block the pull camp, I think. That's your shit. They see the Ogre rotating through. You have to be a little bit careful. Skywrath has also rotated bottom, so him and the Timber and Ogre might look to go, but they're going to have vision of this. Wraith King is being very safe. Blocking the other stacked camp. Actually going to get spotted out by the Ogre. Stunned up as well. Concussive shot as well as Timber Chain going to go through. Playmate's going to drop down to this. But he's kind of the 5-roll Wraith King. It's not the biggest deal in the world up top. And he did block both of these camps. So, not sure if they'll know with that, but they'll have to waste some gold and experience to clear those. Tinker's not in any position to farm them yet, but bottom lane, Schofield's going to get spotted out. He does have money for a TP, but does not have one yet. Hasn't picked one up. Now he has. Throws out a Plasma Field, doing a fair bit of damage. Gets a Drain off on Snoopy. He's very tanky. Still alive. Has stick charges as well. He might even be able to find a return kill here instead. He's going manning up 1v3. He needs 2 more right clicks. Nope, not going to get them. Get silenced up. Just needed that Plasma Field to come through. But he can go on to Taku now. Taku dropping very low, but in the end, he almost kills 3 people. Look at how low they all are. And he pops his bottle and has another a couple stick charges, and it's going to be okay. Be able to go get that rune. Meanwhile, we have one Meepo with an Invis rune. He is level 6 now. Did he clear up that stack? Yes, he did. Venge going to find the Viper, but unfortunately that's going to be his death. Got a stun off, but in the end did go down. Mid lane, this Tinker's got to be careful. Stun's going to come out. Meepos are poofing in, and they're going to land there. One more right click, and that comes out. Playmate's going to be okay. He's just got to get out of there. Drops fairly low, but doesn't go down. So Disband playing very well in this Meepo. There with an Invis rune, able to quickly pick up the kill. And just going to poof farm the lane. Now has max poof. And is going to be working towards that Axe. Where's Meepo Prime? I want Meepo Prime. DD rune and... looks like it's just his treads now. He's going to have one Meepo... Both Meepos actually in the bottom lane. But we'll be moving on. Schofield himself has been farming quite well. Whether it's creeps or heroes, he's sitting near the top with 30 CS. He's doing alright. Meepo's leading it with 36, then Viper with 30. Taku has been having a very unfortunate time, only gotten 4 CS, and he's actually got both enemy teams rotating in. Oh, Rusi, unfortunately, throws out for an auto attack. They're going to spot him with Wave of Terror. That said, Schofield's dropping very low, but they can still get this kill in the Timber Saw. They just have to be a little more careful. They're going to spot him out again. Timber Chain through, Whirling Death. Taku's going to turn it around, so a bit of a misplay coming out from the side of Sand Blunts. And Taku's going to get stunned up again. He just needs a couple more clicks, and he is going to go down, but Rusi is going to fall as well. Stun comes out from the Ogre and the Wraith King at the same time. Blocked up by the creeps, not going to be able to rotate out. In the end, they lose 2 in the bottom lane, and Clockwork dropped on the top lane. I believe that was a solo kill, or maybe an assist coming out from the Skywrath. I didn't see. It was Viper that got the kill, but I assume Skywrath got an assist. So they give up 3, they get 1, but they give up 3. And another stack's going to be cleaned up by the Meepo, so he's going to be pretty happy with this. And Clockwork is struggling as well. Both melee safe laners having a very hard time up against their ranged opponents. And as it is, Clockwork is doing significantly better than the Timber Saw. Oh, he's going to get spotted out though. Pops his battery assault and looking to go. Phase booting through. Has a hook shot up in a moment. If he wants to go for it, he does. He's going to find a solo kill. But in the end, I think he's going to be cleaned up by the Viper here. He has no way to get out. And he's got no TPs coming in. So he gets picked off. No support from his team. But he did get a kill at least before he went down. Rusi has a Soul Ring and a Null Talisman. A little under halfway to his boots. Timbersaw on the bottom, dropping low again. Schofield harassing him back quite effectively. And doing quite a bit of damage to this tower. He's going to put out a drain, gets disjointed. Throws out a Plasma Field. Oh, that connects at max range, doing lots of damage. Taku dropping very low. He's getting a TP rotation from the Skywrath, though. He's going to be able to get out. Rusi is here, though. Throws out a stun. Wave of Terror to follow up. Schofield doesn't have any damage stolen, but Snoopy's going to be going down. Timbersaw did TP out. He does go down, but now the Viper is rotating in. Wraith King is there as well, though. Stun's going to come out on to help. Rusi gets stunned up by the Ogre, And Rusi looks like he's going to get right-click down. Yep, not a lot he can do, but with that Schofield and Viper look like they're going to man up against each other. Another stun comes out from Playmate, though. Who's going to win the man fight? Help dropping very low. He does go down first. Schofield gets cleaned up by the Ogre, and Ogre's going to be there for another kill. Ogre is the big winner of that one. Round for 3 kills in the bottom lane. Just a bloodbath around this bottom tower. Clockwork, meanwhile, dropping very low to something. Not too sure. But J5's moving out. So far, Meepo, he's been having a pretty good time. He's got 2,000 gold on himself. Oh, he's going to get slowed up, though. He's got to be a little bit careful. Timbersaw, very good against Meepo. Doesn't care about the Egg's resistance as he deals lots of pure damage. Oh, and Meepo is aggressively farming the enemy camp. Actually takes a stack. And he's going to poof himself out and blow a spell. There it is. So steals the Tinker's 1 stack, and this one I'm not sure if he stole it or it was cleaned up. I didn't see. But we have some rotations coming out here. Skyrath, or Snoopy, and Taku are there. Taku's actually just going to be jungling for a little bit, it looks like. Skyrath, no, he's not going to help him out at all. Just going to look for a stack. Not going to get it though. Fire Blast comes out onto Schofield. Gonna be okay. But Meepo, meanwhile, is farming the top lane. Unfortunately, has the Mud Golem, so he's not doing too great. Has a Blink Dagger, though, at 10 minutes. And will probably be looking for a Zags very soon. Rusi is gonna find Taku, but it's J5 who finds Snoopy, and he goes down. No other spells were used. Magic Missile comes out, and do you remember our first kiss, as well as the Ray Fire Blast. They're gonna look to clean him up. Meanwhile, Razor is pursuing the Timbersaw. Not going to see who goes here. Ogre does go down. Now is Timbersaw going to make it? He does. J5 with a double kill. And they're going to look for their Tinker. And they get the Tinker. Meepo! Oh, he's going to live. 50 HP left on the sub Meepo. Meepo Prime was doing fine. He's going to be back to the well, though. And with this, I think they're able to take the mid tower. They're showing the 1 kill on the tracker there. But unfortunately, Viper being zoned out, the projectile stuns, due to their lack of mobility, they don't have anyone to stop, to cancel them. I really think Anti-Mage Run would have been a good pick here. Even PA wouldn't have been terrible, but not with a Tinker in the mid lane. Taku is rotated back to the base as he was very low. They're going to find this Obs ward here. They're going to clean it up. Up in the top lane, Razor's looking for a Skyrath. Gonna hit him with a Plasma Field, and then looks like just back off to push the lane. J5 is in the area and can get there. Has his hookshot up, but they're gonna have to be careful. Razor TP's out. Meepo comes in though, gets a kill on the Skyrath, and he's gonna have to back. Viper might be able to get a kill on him. Disband for TI5. He's managing to micro his other Meepos. Unfortunately, stops moving the 1. He's gonna have to get him out of there somehow. Not able to, unfortunately. And Help is gonna be able to pick up a kill with the help of Ogre Magi. Lots of pings and drawings on the map. They wanted to push bottom. Meanwhile, Tinker was cleaned up mid lane. Was that Clockwork? Yes, it was. Good stuff coming from him. And there's a... Oh, no, not a bounty rune. Oh, there's the wards that threw me off a little bit. Rusi, nowhere near getting a medallion. Wraith King, have you gotten anything? Oh, he's got a Blink Dagger, actually. So Wraith King's going to be fairly happy with that. It is a naked blink, however. But he does have his revive, so he can blink and throw it a stun if he wants. He doesn't have enough for a stun and a reincarn, but we'll see if he even cares. He's going to throw out 1. Disband is there as well. Meepos are going to follow up. Timbersaw does get the chain away. Throws out a Chakram, not doing a whole lot of damage though, and they're going to back off after that quick pick. So a good jump from the dual blinks there, and Meepo picks up a Blade of Alacrity, possibly looking for his eggs now. Meanwhile, Tinker trying to find some stacks. Unfortunately, so Max March. Hookshot comes out from Clockwork. Not sure who that was looking for, but didn't find it. And he's working on a Blade Mail. He's got a fair bit of it for himself. Razor is pushing in the top lane, though. Not doing a whole lot of damage, but getting it done. Timbersaw has rotated in, and there's not a whole lot he can do against this Razor. Maybe clean up the creep wave, but he shouldn't be able to get a kill here at all. Plasma Field and then a Static Link, just too much for him to deal with. Ogre is rotating in though, has a point up in multicast, so if they get lucky, might be able to find something. Meanwhile, J5 looking for the Skyrath, not going to pursue too hard. He does have a TP, not using it. That Rusi is there. If he throws out a wave, They probably assume he's TP'd out by now, but with help rotating in, they're going to look to go. And Clockwork gets defensively swapped. The stun comes up from Rusi. He actually cancels the Viper Strike. He's going to be sacrificing himself, throws his body in, and tanks the gank. So decent play coming from them, and they managed to rotate and get a kill. But unfortunately, it wasn't on the target they wanted. They were hoping for the Clockwork, got the support Venge. So, in the end, I think that's alright. Their Meepo is farming very effectively. Where is Meepo Prime? Getting closer. Doesn't have anything on the Crow, but have to wait and see. J5 has a hook shot, manages to hit the Timber Saw. He's got chain, does manage to get it off. Meepos are there, they land the net though. J5 dropping very low. They do get the kill before he goes down. Disband is quite low, but Playmate has jumped in and has enough for Reincarnate if he so chooses. Is going to be popped. Snoopy's dropping very low. Rusi is as well. Stun comes out from Playmate, and Rusi salves up. Is going to get picked off by one last Viper Strike, and the Wraith King goes down to a one last laser from the Tinker. So in the end, a 2 for 2. I'd say that's fairly even. Yeah. Favoring Together We Did It. That's what their name stands for. Slightly just due to the experience and gold lead of the Dire. So they do have a lead. It's not super big yet, but Meepo will be farming increasingly fast. Getting towards that Ags. Razor, though, getting gone on the top lane, dodges the Chakram, and the stun throws out the... Interesting choice there. Just kind of turned and went for it. Not sure. He had 17 charges on his magic wand. Didn't pop it, but in the end he does go down. So good rotation coming out from Together We Did It. Sand Blunt, I believe, is their name. But J5 and Playmate, they're going to look to push this bottom tower. And they should be able to clean this up fairly easily. No glyph going to be popped even, so Clockwork's snagging that last hit. Looks like they're going to just try and change. They've got 5 heroes up in the top lane. Fort was popped by the Dire. Rocket Flare is going to come through. Unfortunately, they're not going to get the tower, but no, they're not going to go for anything. Clockwork's too far away, doesn't want to throw the hook. Has a Blade Mail now. I'm not too sure about his build. Usually, I think if you want to go for Blade Mail, you should get Power Tread, so you have the extra health, but either way, it's okay. Disband after TI is sitting there. They know where they are. They flare him. Wave of Terror comes through. Taku has been hit by it. Schofield off to the side. Tinker is all the way bottom. Does have bots, though. Can be here. And Help. Looks like they're just going to back off. Help is getting fairly close to his Ag, so over halfway there. Just needs another about 1,200 some gold, and he'll have it. Has a Mechanism already, though, which is the big pickup. And Timbersaw has been recovering somewhat. Has boots and a soul ring. Scarith Mage is as poor as it gets. Ogre Magi. He's got arcanes and a point booster. Not doing too bad. Clockwork, Blade Mail, and looks like an urn coming out for the Venge. They're gonna find a hookshot onto the Viper. Drain's coming out from Schofield. Clockwork's dropping very low though. He goes down to the Viper, and Wraith King blinks in, gets a good stun off. Looking to finish him off. Swapped out. I don't know. Swapped back is he. Rusi gets an urn on himself. Scarith Mage does go down. So far, it's a triple kill for the Razor. Meepo and Clockwork are the casualties for the Dire. Looking to make it an ultra kill for Schofield. He's going to get cleaned up, though. Can he make it Rampage? No. In the end, I want to say that is a 4 for 3 exchange and a buyback coming from Help. It might even have been in his favor as he cleaned up the ultra kill. He might get another here. Rusi, I think, is in a world of hurt. Throws out a stun, but he's dead. Ogre Magi gets there, gets an assist. Somehow hits that camp. And let's see what the gold exchange was. Viper actually made 500 some gold off that. Ogre came out ahead, quite a ways ahead. And the ratings are going to be... I think they're going to be happy with how the fight ended, maybe not how it started. Dire's going to be a little bit upset about that. Their Meepo went down very early, didn't have his Ags up, so didn't have the stats yet. But he will get it very shortly. Less than 1,000 away. And they're pinging out that I think he wants to try and make a play here on the Timbersaw. Not sure if this is a good idea. The Tinker is there. He poofs in a couple of others Meepos. Not sure if he has anywhere else around the map. Clockwork is here. Timber Chain away from Taku. Throws out a Chakram that connects on them all as well. J5 is hasted, but that doesn't matter when you get multicast like that. Ding Dings are there, and Taku's looking to go. Meepos are going to be TPing out, and they're going to get away. Schofield might be looking to turn it around. Isn't. He's going to back off. And Disband and Playmate, I wonder when they're going to go take Roche. They could send the Venge in there if they wanted to make it go a little quicker, but they do not need the minus armor. With the Meepos and the Wraith King with the heal. Which, sorry, not the heal, but the Vampiric R, which he's almost maxed. Does that have attack speed? No, just movement speed on the Geostrike. J5, I don't know. I think he's just a little bit too squishy. He should have gone for power treads. But, oh well, we'll have to see how it works out for him. And one of the problems with Clockwork is his scaling. He needs to be very much ahead early, and we take a look at the net worth chart. He's middle of the pack, but I don't know. He definitely needs to be ahead, especially against some of these other heroes. The amount of damage coming out from noobs are us. It's going to start getting immense, and Clockwork needs to be able to reflect quite a bit of that. Wraith King is off to the side, has a blink if he wants to use it. Viper Strike comes out onto Rusi though. Wraith King did TP in, or blink in, sorry. Has his reincarnate, it's going to get popped. Razor's there, throws out a plasma field. Clockwork is there. Where is the Meepo though? There he is. He's looking to go on the Ogre Magi. Is he going to be able to blow him up? Not quite, not yet. But in the end, so far, Venge has gone down. Ogre drops. Timbersaw to follow. Help has gone down as well. The fight turns in the favor of the Dire. Clockwork, a hook comes out. Unfortunately, doesn't connect. Wraith King blinks forward, gets a stun off. Spike Carapace popped by J5, and he reflects a lot of damage. He's going to be very happy with that one. Looking to go in Snoopy, and he gets the kill. Double kill coming from him. He dropped very low, but they're able to get it. In the end, it's a 5-for-2 exchange. Both supports going down for the Dire, but they're going to be very happy that that worked out. Look at that gold swing. Experience. Holy crap. But Disband has his Agnum Scepter now, and straight into Roshan. He's got all of his Meepos there now. He's level 17. Roshan's going to drop very quick. He just needs to cycle this out. He really wants his Wraith King there, though. Wraith King will probably TP to this, yep. TP to this tower and just blink himself in. And now that he's here, this is going to get very easy, as all the Meepos will be life-stealing quite effectively. And this is going to be an uncontested Roshan going in favor of them after taking a full 5-man wipe. They're going to be pretty happy with that. And I think this puts them in an incredibly strong position as far as pushing tier 3s, tier 2s, maybe starting to pressure tier 3s, but we'll have to wait and see what they want to do. The tier 1 up here is ready to be sneezed on, and we'll go down in a moment's notice. We'll see if Noobs R Us wants to deny that or not, but either way. Schofield picks up a Black King bar, opting not to rush the Agnums, which I think is okay. The only downside is picking up BKB early is it means late game your BKB has very low charges, but either way. Playmate has a Sage's Mask, so let's see what he goes for yet. He might be the one picking up a he might be picking up a Vladimir's actually, which wouldn't be awful, not at all. And or it could be the oh, ping's coming out. What are those? Tinker has been found by Clockwork. Oh, he missed him by that much. They're pinging him out. Net's coming out from Meepo going the wrong way. Unfortunately, they're not going to find it. Dropping very low while sitting in all of those marches, but that hook shot missed him by, it had to have been like that much. I swear, any closer and it would have had him. Handful of units the other way, and they find a pick on the Tinker there, but he's able to make it away. Whether it's luck or skill, he's alright in the end. And looking to push the tower, he's starting to do alright, forcing some pressure and forcing rotations. The only problem is he's forcing rotations up against the Meepo, who can actually be everywhere on the map at once. Oh, Meepo, surprisingly not the leader in net worth, despite, I assume, yeah, being a heavy experience favorite. Oh, bottom lane, Clockwork gets picked off, TP cancelled, and they're going to look to make this push. Playmate, he's going to have to sit back here, doesn't have Reincarnate for just under a minute. Tinker rotated through to the side, and it looks like Venge and Razor are smoked up. They might look to go on this. Razor has a haste rune for About quarter of its duration left. To see if they're able to find somebody. Unfortunately, level 1 swap. Razor's going to get spotted out here. Stuns come out. Multi-track cast. Triple cast comes out onto the bench. He drops very quickly. Looking to go. Skywrath Mystic Flare comes through, but unfortunately doesn't do anything. Split amongst the Meepos. They're splitting up now, looking for the Ogre, and Meepo is chasing the rest of them. They're going to back off on the side. They're going to get Ogre. Yes, they do. Wraithfire Blast comes through just in time, and Razor picks up the kill. And after the Clockwork, a 1-for-1 exchange. Meepo is forced back from farming, has an ultimate orb, might be going Hex, could be going Scotty, not too sure. Depends what he wants, if he wants the stats or the control. But we'll see. Clockwork working on that Agnum Scepter. Is level 11 now. Oh. I assume is going for a Dagon now, and is about halfway to the first recipe. So he'll be there shortly. Unfortunately, these two, they're sitting on top of a ward here. They're going to get spotted out. And Chainmail Robe of the Mad Guy. What is he getting? Looks like he hasn't decided if he wants a Blade Mail or a Medallion. Why can't I find Medallion? I buy it all the time. What is this? Where did it go? What is this magic? Yeah, I'm not too sure what he wants there. He bought the Sage's Mask and changed his mind, or some such. Or picked up the robe because he thought he was going to die and lose his gold. But, either way. Smoke coming out from the side of Together We Did It. Not going to really find anyone unless they rotate deep and find the Clockwork, but top lane, big rotation coming out here. Looks like they want to gank this tower. They'll be able to do that. Oh, Clockwork's going to get spotted out here. Multicasted, double cast, Viper struck, and he's going to drop. Easy pick off there, so he's kind of in the wrong neighborhood. Schofield sitting there behind the tower with an Invis rune, and they're going to clean up the tower easily, and looks like they're going to keep pushing. So far, they've already taken the tier 1. Their tier 1 glyph has been used, so that's going to delay it a little bit longer. They're going to do quite a bit of damage to this tier 2. They might even take it. TPs are coming in from the Skywrath Mage and the Timbersaw. Razor's cleaning up the creep wave. And this tower, just under half dead. Help is there. All the Meepos do go forward, actually, onto the Skywrath. Dropping fairly low, looking to get off the nets, and they do. Meepo is going to go down. Aegis has been popped. So far, Wraith King has gone down as well, though. Both second lives being used. Meepo goes forward. They're going to get the kill on the Ogre Magi. They're going to try and find Tinker. Nope. Meepo's going to go blink away. Just want to finish this tower. Schofield pops his BKB. Swapped back defensively. Taku gets stunned up by the magic missile and netted as well by the Meepo. Help is now a little bit out of position. Are they going to go for it? No, they're not. Looks like they're just going to start backing off. They say, we've taken 2 kills, forced to buyback, as well as gotten a tower, all for an Aegis and a free life on Wraith King. We're going to take that and we're going to run. And that is a Scythe of Vice now picked up at the Meepo, who has been farming very well. 27 minutes, he's got an Eggs, Blink, Scythe. So he's doing pretty well for himself, sitting at level 21 as well. Now, topping the network charts by just about 2,000. 2,700. Or 1,600 or so. Noobs R Us is here. Zoning out Playmate. I'd like to see them put an anti-Tinker ward up. Looks like they want to see the same thing from me. But, in the end, looks like they're just going to push. And when is Roshan spawning? We won't know for another 2 minutes. Or just under 2 minutes, that is. Snoopy going for the max null talismans. Poor guy. I understand his pain being that Skywrath mage. Or that support in general. Eggs now finished up on the Razor. That's a pretty big pickup. He's going to be happy with himself. He's got a DD bottled as well as an Eggs and a BKB there. 8 seconds left on his BKB. So he's doing alright. Wraith King has the Sage's Mask as well as a Blade Mail. So we'll see if he wants to go for the Vlads now or if it is an Null Talisman. J5 throws out a hook. Unfortunately, does not connect. Pops his Blade Mail and just kind of runs around in it. And these Blade Mails are going to start to hurt the Tinker, who only has 1,000 HP. If Wraith King and Clockwork run around in them too long, that might actually kill him. So, we'll have to kind of wait and see here. I think Tinker might be in for a world of hurt. If he accidentally Daggons, or if they Blade Mail some rockets, it's going to be a rough day for him. But Any smokes coming out? No, neither team. Positioning too aggressively. Meepo's off farming the jungle as 5. Oh, cancels the TPs. Gonna just blink all his Meepos forward as he senses and sees Timbersaw and Viper rotating through. Viper now has an eggs of his own, so that Viper Strike being very effective. Timbersaw has a Bloodstone, unfortunately only 6 charges. This is a very sad Timbersaw. He's had a very rough game. Got killed a handful of times in his solo safe lane, and it's just hasn't quite been able to catch up here. Blink out from the Wraith King, doesn't want to go. Or actually wants to sit behind. They don't see him yet. Nighttime vision too strong. Clockwork throws out a rocket. They're looking through. They gets a hook off as well as a blink. They both pop their blade mails. Wraith King, no, doesn't, or did get his off. Clockwork goes down. Wraith King comes back though. It's going to slow them all down. Rusi is there. Meepo comes through, picks up a kill on the Skywrath. So far, Clockwork, Skywrath, and Ogre have gone down. Playmate goes forward, gets another stun on Taku. He gets hexed up by the Meepo. Razor dropping very low. Might tick out. No, doesn't. He's going to be okay. Timbersaw cleaned up by the Meepo right click, so they're going to be able to get this bottom tower. And that's 3 for 1 and the Wraith King ulti. Clockwork manages to suicide in there and cause some problems. Viper Strike comes out, not disjointed by the Wraith King, just a little bit too slow. And Meepo gets the last hit on the tower. And they're going to be very happy with that. And this opens up Roshan, which I'm assuming one of the Meepos is, yep, heading there any moment. They'll be able to clean that up, I imagine, much before they're back and able to contest. It said they might be rotating through it. I believe that is a ping from Wraith King. Pings it out and says no, but doesn't seem to matter. Timbersaw's there. Tinker is rotating in as well. They saw them go in there, but doesn't look like they're going to want to contest it as it has already gone down. Meepo now has another Aegis. Wraith King's going to have a second life here in 90 seconds. And they can just go and push mid again. Push mid, take that mid-tier 2, and then do the same thing to the top lane. Razor sitting on 2,000 gold. Might be looking towards a refresher. Might go something tanky like a Heart or a Shiva's. Not too sure yet. Wraith King has 1,300, so we'll see if he wants to go for that. Oh, blink, blink. Not quite there. That's it. Schofield's going to find the Tinker. Doesn't pop his ulti. Just drains him and right-clicks him. Forces him back. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Viper gets the kill on the Clockwork, so he goes down. So close and yet so far away from his Ag Scepter. 500 gold away. Blink Sheep comes out from Meepo though. Disband playing very well. Gets the kill. And we'll see what he wants to do with this 4k gold. And he picks up another ultimate orb, so I'm assuming it's a Scotty. That is a lot of stats for his Meepos. And will make him quite tanky. Schofield is going to push the mid lane. We'll see if maybe he picks up a Reaver or something, or not a Reaver, but a Heart eventually as well, on the Meepo that is. And they're just going to look to push this tower. They have an Aegis on the Meepo now, so they can afford to be quite aggressive with it. Wraith King is not there, however. He's off to the side. 11 seconds left on his ulti. Looks like they're just going to back off. He's farming very aggressively, though. Obviously not too worried. Has a Blink Dagger to destroy them. J5 pushing out the bottom lane. Trying to finish up that Ags, getting very close. Any other items of worth? Dagon level 3 on the Tinker, nothing else. Earth Mage has got nothing. Rusi picks up a Force Staff, that's good. He'll be a lot better off with that. But other than that, oh, speaking of Rusi, gets cleaned up by the Tinker. Force Staff not doing a whole lot against a Blink in that case. Playmate gonna find a Bounty Rune and run away. Oh, he's gonna get spotted out. He is TPing though. Good call. Clockwork is in the bottom lane, does probably want to get out of there. He's got his Ags, but I wouldn't bring that to you, buddy. Actually, it's going to work out alright as they rotate back through. He spends his hook shot, puts it on cooldown for 50 seconds just to get back to the creep wave. And now he's got an Ag, so it'll be alright. Oh, pause coming out from the Viper. Somebody's lagging, I imagine. Oh, we'll have to wait and see. As far as the graphs go, experience, unsurprisingly, quite in favor of the Dyers. Sand B, they're going to be pretty happy with that. Gold, yeah, they're going their way as well. They're kind of falling prey to the Meepo. In order for Together We Did It to come back, they need this Tinker to come all of the online. I think ultra late game Tinker can deal with a Meepo, even though Meepo has the extra magic resistance. Once Tinker gets like a Hex and an E-Blade, but that's a long ways off. Taku can as well, but he needs... Oh, disband. He finds an easy kill. Blink Sheep. Gonna quickly deal with that Tinker. Like I said, just isn't there yet. And Timbersaw can as well. That said, hold that thought. Schofield's gonna get found out. Cogs, nicely done. Blocks, do you remember? But unfortunately, they don't pursue help. So they're gonna look to finish off this Ogre Magi. Rocket comes out, doesn't get the kill. He's got another hook coming up in 10 seconds. Do they want to pursue for it? Timbersaw misses his chain. He could be in a lot of trouble here. Hook is going to be up on Clockwork. No, another chain coming up from Timbersaw. Hook, is it going to fly through? Not yet. Throws out a flare. Has a hook now. Look to see what we want to do here. Gonna ignore that fight for a moment here as Meepo is going to go in on to help. Gonna get Mystic flared. Unfortunately, a lot of that's coming onto one Meepo. He still has the Aegis on Meepo Prime. He's gonna pop the Aegis. Wraith King is there though, gets a huge crit. Snoopy dropping very low. Is he gonna make it out? He is! Plasma Field just not quite there. That said, Meepo is. Blinks forward. Poof as well. Help gonna drop to this. Mantisile gonna buy him a little bit of time, but not enough. Meepo disband is now godlike. And he's gonna look to finish off this tower. Clockwork did end up getting the Timbersaw, it looks like. And that's gonna be GG coming up from Taku. And GG's are called. That is the game, fellas. An excellent Meepo performance coming out from Disband. And a pick that honestly shocked me. And then his play was fantastic. Definitely warranted the pick. So, well done there. And impressive nonetheless. Everybody who tuned in, thank you very much. I am, of course, Wolf Dota. If you enjoyed the cast, you can follow me on Twitter as well as on Twitch TV. If you want to catch any of the VODs or see anything else I've done, it's all on my YouTube channel. And a shout out to Xfire for sponsoring the tournament. They provided the tournament brackets as well as a lot of the software and the assets that we use to help manage the tournaments and organize the teams. And of course, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for the guys who are actually running the tournament. Canada Weekly Cup. This was week 4. Stay tuned. The next season, or week I should say, is going to be starting up on December 27th is when it is. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good night.